This is a Sports Radio Live podcast covering your world of sports. Bryan Houston's Sports Radio Live. It's weekdays at 3 on 99.3 Talk FM, the talk of East Texas.
All right, Bryan Houston here with Luke McCown. I got to tell you, first of all, man, the heels look great.
Yeah, they look a lot better than they feel. So.
Did you get any insurance in case you, rip a tendon or something?
You know what? I should have put a little more thought into that because I should have gotten some insurance on my ankles at least. But it'll be a fun day.
What's your status right now as a player?
I'm a free agent, and all that means is just that my services are open to any team that would be willing or want to bring me in on a workout or any kind of a contractual basis. So, free agency goes in waves, and usually around this time, the draft, once the draft is completed in the next week, the second wave of free agents will get picked up and kind of get started. So we're looking forward to that, and hopefully there will be an opportunity for us that'll be what fits.
Is there anybody that you've talked to or had any initial contact with right now?
I've had contact with a few teams, and we remain in contact. They have certain things that they're looking for that they want to get panned out first. Again, it's a waiting process. You kind of got to be patient and wait it out, and when the right opportunity surfaces, it'll kind of work itself out.
Now, how old are you now?
I'm 30.
Okay, and you've been in the league for what, 8 or 9 years?
8 years. Just finished 8 years. This will be 9 coming up.
How frustrating is it then, in a guy in your situation, and it just seems like you've just never been able to find a situation where you could get a real opportunity?
Right. Yeah, it's the way the league goes. For me and my faith, I believe that God orchestrates every step that I take. And for me, up to this point in my career, it's never been part of His plan for me in my career to be that established starter. I've had opportunities to start. I've played well at times, which has allowed me to continue and sustain a career for 8 years. But to be the surefire guy for a number of seasons just hasn't presented itself yet. I still believe that's there. I still believe that I can play. I've got several years left in me to play and play good football. And for me, it's frustrating in the sense that those are things that I want. At the same time, I am able to set my frustrations aside because I want what God wants for me.
It's funny because I talked to Josh right after he got that phone call to come up and play with Chicago and ends up playing on national television against the Packers. And I was thinking, and I guess he was thinking at the time his career was done at this point.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. It's just, this business is kind of an up and down business. It can be frustrating. It can be trying. But that's why we lean so heavily on our faith. And that allows us to, like I said, set our frustrations aside and understand that what He wants is ultimately what is best for us, and that we learn to want that also and desire that, to ultimately for His kingdom and the good of His plan for us.
You watch any of the draft the last couple of days?
I literally watched maybe the first couple of picks, and that was about it.
I was just wondering, because I know you're aware of it, just like what happened with Cleveland the other day, where they picked Trent Richardson, and Colt McCoy's probably thinking, okay, they're going to finally get me some weapons, and then they draft Brandon Weeden late in the first round. If you were in that situation, what would you tell Colt McCoy about that whole deal there?
Just only worry about the things that you can worry about. You can't control them drafting someone. Just hope that you get the opportunity, the legitimate opportunity to compete for that job and go win it. And again, there's plenty of football left to be played for Colt, and just to continue to fight. Don't ever be content. Don't ever be settled. Don't ever think I've made it. And I know Colt, and I know that's not his mentality. He's a fighter, and he's going to go out and compete with Brandon Weeden, and ultimately the best guy will win.
You're being very gracious, and I admire that in you, but do you ever sit around a TV by yourself and you watch a game and you're going, man, I know I can do better than that guy?
Absolutely. That's the competitor in you. I mean, you look at, man, if I only had the opportunity that guy had, or the chance that guy had, or if I had, the weapons that he had to throw, that's the competitor in you.
Yeah.
But, again, that's what we want to do. That's what, I've done all my life is played football and compete. So it's easy to kind of sit back and go, oh, I could do that or this or that. But I understand how hard it is, and I also understand how good the guys are that have sustained careers for a long time. I mean, the guys that I was drafted with, Eli and Phillip and Ben and even Matt Schaub, I understand how good those guys are, to accomplish the things that they've accomplished. And so I can sit back and go, we were all drafted together, and if I had the same opportunities they had and this and that, but at the same time you respect how good those guys are and the teams that they've led, and I root for them at the same time.
Good deal. Best of luck to you. Good luck.
Thanks, Bryan. Appreciate you having me.
Good luck, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Lou.
This is the Sports Radio Live podcast covering your world of sports. Bryan Houston's Sports Radio Live. It's weekdays at 3 on 99.3 Talk FM, the talk of East Texas.